I haven't made a video in forever, so that's what we're gonna do today. Okay. I genuinely do not understand how people can text with their thumbs, with their nails. Like, I literally have to... Whatever. Somehow my eyebrows stayed on from sleeping, so I guess I was just sleeping so deeply that I didn't move. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna do my eyes and contour and stuff. It's just kind of gonna be a crappy get ready with me, cause yeah, I don't have ideas. All right. Let's see. Just in case anyone's wondering, I literally use... Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah! This. It's literally cream eyeliner, but I use it for my eyebrows because I'm cheap and it's $3. Sorry, Anastasia. I'm in college. So, story time, I guess. My high school experience was definitely better than middle school as far as friends, sports, teachers, etc. But there was this one teacher who just, what are you doing with your life? You know, like, I was in AP English junior year, and the first semester I had one teacher. She was super cool, and it was actually her first year teaching AP English, so it was pretty impressive because she knew what she was doing. It was super fun, but it was also really hard, which is kind of the point. AP is, you know, basically a college class. If you take the test, it counts as it, which I never did, and this is why. The second semester, because of how the choir schedule worked out, and I love singing, like, I need to be in choir. I tried to quit choir once because I hated the director, and I couldn't. And I was like, you know what? I'll deal with him being a terrible person because I love singing more than I hate people. That is my life. So I was in choir. I was like, okay, I'll switch English classes and go with this other teacher. And I was like, well, we'll see what happens. This is what happened. So, you know how in public school you're supposed to, as a teacher, and I don't agree with this, but it's the way it is, not talk about your personal religious and political beliefs. But apparently people think that only applies to Christian conservatives and not to every single teacher. Cough. So this teacher would talk about her political beliefs, which were, you know, okay, I don't care. Again, I disagree with the idea that you shouldn't be allowed to. But if anybody disagreed with her, she'd get so mad and just really passive aggressive about it. Like, for instance, if we were talking about religion and somebody was talking about Christianity, I don't know what she was. If she... Yes, my ringtone is Kim Possible, deal with it. So, I don't know if she was Christian or not, but we didn't really think so just because of how angry she'd get when people talked about it. I'm sure she grew up that way because she grew up in a conservative state. I'm not gonna talk about it, I guess, too much, but yeah. She would get angry at people who disagreed with her, and one of the things she did to me in particular, and one other kid in the class, but he dealt with it because he's kind of an easygoing guy, whereas I like to tell people when I think they're wrong. And I don't really do it so much anymore just because in college this kind of stuff doesn't really happen, and if it does happen, you just can talk to the teacher about it directly. There's not like principals and stuff you have to go through unless it's a really serious situation, and they're usually pretty understanding because you're both adults and they actually see you as an equal, whereas in high school, even if you are a legal adult, which I was not, but even if you are, they just see you as like a 3-year-old. So, gosh, I cannot get this to work. So, one of the things that happened was she decided that if anybody disagreed with her in class, she would call them out and it was usually me and two other people. Two other people that basically would get crap for what we said in class. And she would say that we were, one of the direct quotes she said to me was, "You are offending the other students in class by how outspoken you are." And now this one other student in class who is just as outspoken and salty as me is very liberal. She has a photo on her Instagram of her with Hillary Clinton when she was in 5th grade, and she's very proud of it. And she would talk just as much as I would. It was usually us two and like two other people talking in that class. And this girl never got yelled at because she agreed with the teacher on a lot of stuff. But I and this one other conservative kid in class, two others actually, one was a guy, one was a girl, we would always get in trouble, and she would yell at us and tell us not to talk about certain things. But then, if we didn't talk in class, she would lower our grade for not participating. I am dead serious. So there's like no way out. So the one kid, the guy, chose just not to talk in class. The other girl only talked when we were talking about certain things. I decided, well, if I don't talk, I'll get in trouble. If I do talk, I'll get in trouble. So before I say anything, I'm going to go, "Mom, I'm filming!" Say, this is just my opinion, because it is. I don't think I'm right about everything. I never have. People tend to think I am just because I say what I'm thinking. I'm like, no. I say, this is just my opinion. If I do think I'm right, I give sources. Online and in person, I say the same things. Whatever. So, I said that before anytime I would talk in class. But then one day, after class, this teacher decided that that was wrong too. So she pulled me aside after class and made me late to my next one to say, "You're isolating yourself from the students by saying that you're just saying your opinion. You should be..." No, I'm being polite and not acting like I know everything. Duh, it's not that complicated. So, I was just literally crying multiple times from this teacher. I don't cry. Most people who know me haven't seen me cry since 6th grade because I think it's embarrassing and weak. Just for me. If anyone else is okay with showing... That's cool. I think more people should be. I'm just not one of those people because I've gotten bullied over it so many times that I'm just over it. And also, I personally believe, and again, this only applies to me, not anybody else, so don't get mad at me. I personally believe that if something's your fault, you are not allowed to cry about it. So, I just don't cry in public. And this teacher had me crying like at least once a week because I was literally just so frustrated. I was just crying, not even because I was upset like for myself, but because I did not understand how she could have not gotten fired. And this happened to one of my friends too the next year, the exact same situation. And my friend has like almost opposite beliefs of me. So I don't even understand how it happened to her. Probably just because she looked weird. She had colored hair and stuff. So yeah, this teacher basically just decided to hate me and these two other people, and I eventually told one of the assistant principals and switched back to a normal English class because I couldn't get into the other AP class. So I didn't get my college credit because of a teacher who decided that she was above the law, which again, I don't agree with this law, but if you're gonna be a jerk about it, just because you know you're not gonna get in trouble, are you serious? You're a grown woman, you're like 35, get it together. But yeah, that was basically, so to recap, if I said anything that she disagreed with, I would get in trouble. If I didn't say anything, I'd get in trouble. If I said something in the most polite way possible, I'd get in trouble. What? And like, again, this happened to several people. So, the assistant principals were on my side. They believed me that she was just like personally attacking us. Because she did it to several other people, most of whom were similar to me, either by how they looked or what they believed. So she should have gotten fired. I don't know if she has, because I don't go there anymore. It's been 2 years since this happened. But yeah, I dropped the class. I mean, it worked out okay because my English class that I took in college was cool, and we got to read a book that I'd wanted to read for years and write our final papers on it. That was really great. But I could have been done with that class before college and not had to pay for it, if this teacher hadn't been so stressful. And so, if you are dealing with a teacher that's really biased and pretending they're not because they're not conservative, even if you are also not conservative, if they're just like, you know, using their personal beliefs in the workplace, that's not professional as a teacher or anyone else in any other profession to bring your personal issues into your work. So you should feel completely justified in calling them out for it, in telling someone higher than them, in telling your parents, whoever can help you, because that's just not legal or okay, and even if it was legal, it's really petty. So, yeah, little story time about high school. I don't know. And then after I dropped the class, every time she saw me in the hallway, she'd be like, "Hi, Lexi, how's it going? Having a nice day?" Bish, where? Like, you hate me. I understand if you disagree with somebody. But here's another example. When I was in middle school, I had this one choir director. Again, this is the one where I wanted to quit choir because he was so rude and childish. And he acted like the 7th grade girls he was teaching. It was mostly girls. I decided to put up with it because I love singing. Me and about 4 other people that he really just did not like never got solos, even though sometimes we were better than the people who got them. And we were just like, you know what? I don't even care. I personally have horrifying stage fright. I just love singing. So I was actually kind of glad that I only ever got one solo. But the one solo I did get in high school, and this is the one year that I had a different director because my high school got my former middle school director after the 3rd high school in our town was built, because our director went to work with that new high school. And a bunch of people quit choir because of that. I chose not to. But yeah. This other director also did not like me on a personal level. She thought I was annoying. She thought I talked too much, which I probably did. Whoop-de-doo, I always talk too much. She thought that I was disrespectful to authority. And here's a great quote that I found. It says, sometimes... What does it say? There are 2 kinds of respect. Respect as a person and respect as an authority. And sometimes authorities act like if you don't give them respect as an authority, they won't give you respect as a person. And that is basically what happened in several situations. So she could have easily done that. She could have been that person. But she decided to be professional. What a concept. And she put aside her personal issues with me. And she gave me the lowest alto in our choir, the highest solo of that year's set, because I was the best, even though she didn't like me as a person. And she probably still wouldn't if she met me now, because I'm making a video about her. So that is an example of someone being really professional, and some of these other teachers were just not. That was like one of the only bad things that happened to me in high school, was with this English teacher, but it worked out okay. Really, it turns out perfect when I'm like not even in a hurry. I hate my life. You know, people will say stuff like, "Oh, don't you hate it when blah blah blah," and everybody else will go, "Oh yeah, that sucks." But then when I go, "Don't you hate it when blah blah blah," people are like, "Is that even possible? Are you from the planet Earth?" Yes, by the way, I do fake freckles. All I do is I use this. This is my bronzer as well. As you can see, that's been loved. This shade right here. And then I use either this brush or the one I just used, which is this brush, depending on how lazy I am, because this one takes more effort to get it to, you know, work. Yeah. And then I just make them lighter, because I don't have freckles. I'm half black, that doesn't happen. Well, sometimes it happens. But yeah, let me know if you want to see more story time videos, if you want to see more makeup videos, fashion, vlogs. I mean, I'll do them anyway whether you want to or not, but I just, want to know which ones I should do the most of. I seem to get a lot of views on my food videos too, so if you want to see more what I eat in a day, especially since I'm in college and I'm broke, let me know about that too. Yeah. This is what I look like today. I was gonna put on lipstick, but I don't want to anymore, so better lighting. Oh dang it, I smudged. No! Ugh.